This is Zach Meir with the US Chartbreakers here at Zach's Traders Cafe for Friday, the 27th of June. Starting off with the S&P, which is sailing into new record territory, well, just about. The high yesterday, 61.46. I think that's just near the best levels that we had earlier in the year before the tariff debacle. Current situation is that above the 61.50 zone, we can get to that, looking for 63.30 as suggested previously, and looking for that by the end of next month. On the downside now, not expecting anything lower than 60.60, basically the previous June resistance and the floor of the current, on the top of the current gap. The other point to note is we haven't had the RSI below neutral 50 since the end of April, which must be some kind of record, and obviously it isn't, but it's a long time, and we've had RSI rebounds above neutral 50, which tends to be a very strong signal, leading indicator on the upside, and that's proven to be the case. Onto the Nasdaq, which was always relatively stronger than the S&P, and that's shown by the way that we have easily cleared the old 22,200 resistance from earlier in the year. Stocks rushing ahead at the moment, especially the ones which were hit by the tariff disaster. 23,100 is the target there by the end of next month, and obviously the way things are going, looks as though we'll get there early. Upside value while we're above 22,000, which was recent initial June resistance. Moving on to the stocks, and current situation of critical metals is that we've managed to exceed the first target there for the second time now, around $3.20. Above that, looking at the upper parallel of that rising trend channel base, $4.60, and a nice U-shaped, well, it's actually U-shaped and W-shaped at the same time, turnaround. And next on the list is a stock which also looks as though it's ready to push significantly higher, already has done anyway. We filled the gap there down from January around the $16 level. Above that, looking for the top of the channel, as high as $21.50 by the end of next month. Beautiful RSI 50 rebound there, just to underline the strength in that situation. Next on the list is Citius, and beautiful situation here in terms of both the chart pattern and the charting call. We're looking for the top of the rising trend channel base there at $5.30, and this looks like a mid-move consolidation. I call it V-shaped bull flag, and looking for $5.30 by the end of next month or even sooner, while we're on the right side of $3. Multiple RSI 50 rebounds you can see before the rally that we had, so a beautiful leading indicator on the upside. On to Goldman Sachs, which I just thought I'd throw in just for good measure. Record highs there, or at least a record high for this year. Top of the channel there up to $790, which we're looking for perhaps as soon as the end of next month, given the way the shares are gapping up, galloping away as well. Multiple RSI rebounds above neutral 50, haven't been below neutral 50 since the end of April, mirroring the state of the market. And looking for that $790 target while we're above the $660 zone, which is the floor of that rising March trend channel. A return for the following stock, and it is coming up, if I can type in the right letters, Jeff's Brands, and here got a falling trend channel, and looking for the shares to hit the upper parallel of that channel there at $21. Maybe by the end of August. Might be need to give it a bit more time, but that is the 1 to 2 month target for the shares, especially while they remain above recent resistance around the $7.80 mark. So hopefully that will come to pass. On to an interesting situation in the form of Kewaunee. Here we've had a massive gap to the upside. The support from yesterday around the $48 level, and above that on an end of day close, looking for as high as $80, maybe by the end of next month. Beautiful turnaround there, bouncing against the rising 50-day moving average. Next on the list is Live Ventures, and here sharp turn after a couple of days of going the other way. End of day close above a rising 50-day moving average should be enough to give the shares a retest of $25 by the end of next month. In fact, we sort of did that yesterday, but let's have another go. And looking for that while we're above the recent broken resistance around $12.60. Stock with an interesting name at the moment is coming up next, and here we've got Balochistan glass, and here you can see that got this mid-move consolidation Want to see an end of day close through $12 to give us a high, well, hopefully a target there through $15.60 by the end of next month. Upside value while we hold above that rising 50-day moving average. Next on the list is another bouncing situation, which is QuantumScape. Here you can see that we've cleared recent resistance around the $6.80 mark. Above that, looking at the top of the channel, as high as $11 by the end of next month. Double, triple bounces of the RSI on neutral 50 ahead of the latest move to the upside. On to the last two. First one is Splash, and here, interesting setup in the sense we've got a sharply rising 50-day line. Need to see an end of day close above that, $4.64, to give us a move up to $8 by the end of next month. Helped along, by the way, the RSI is now pushed back above neutral 50, but the trigger there, end of day close above the 50-day moving average. Finishing off with top Kingwin, and here another falling trend channel situation. We're through the 50-day line properly for the first time in the recent past. That's at $2.54. Above that, looking for at least that spike high there around $4.55 over the next couple of weeks. That's it for me today. More updates over the weekend.